So it is here in America.
It is here.
And in the UK, we just had a child pedophile ring going on that wasn't investigated by the police because they didn't want to appear racist. So I think this sort of cultural relativism is really dangerous. Why are you so focused on these rich white males who are essentially trying to get the economy going, trying to sell you stuff, trying to keep you happy because happy keeps the economy going? I mean, Jack Welch, the CEO of GE, he doesn't want women getting raped. He doesn't have time for that. He's worried about the bottom line. He doesn't have time for racism either. If he's looking at a resume, okay, this is a new accountant. Oh, good. He's going to save us $250,000 a year in tax. Oh, my God. He's that smart? And he's only asking for $150K? Well, the guy's a living profit machine. Of course I'm going to... Oh, he's a black man.
It's about how they perpetuate the capitalist structure, though. I mean, sure, if you're going to support whatever this exec that you're using as an example is doing, then yeah, they don't care what race as long as you're going to support those same ideals.
Great. So that's
just that.
Well, 15 million illegals working cheap has surely affected
Oh, yeah.
the bottom line. So I think if you're concerned about wages and the working class, you should be fighting illegal immigration. They've driven down the wage gap. I mean, sorry, they've driven down the minimum wage. They've driven down wages in general.
The biggest concern is the wealth gap, though. I mean, how much the top percent is making in comparison to everybody else. That's...
I do agree that CEOs make too much, but you remind me of a Margaret Thatcher quote where she said, Labor would rather have the wealth gap here, where both are poorer, than a gap like this, where the rich are rich, where the poor are richer, but the gap is bigger. Would you rather have both down here than a big gap with the poor slightly higher?
I think it would make for a healthier society.
To be down here?
To be closer to equal, yeah.
And do you think the government's role is to regulate that and impose it on the society?
To some extent.
So you're a socialist?
I wouldn't say that, but I believe in some socialist ideals.
Have you ever been to the DMV?
Yep.
These are the people, these fucking bureaucrats with no interest in being there, these rude, lazy morons are going to be handling your justice. You're imparting your freedom and your liberty and your equality. You're saying, hey, shitheads, can you run my life, please?
Not all government employees are.
Yes,
lazy.
they are.
No, they're not.
That's why they're in the government. Politicians are not...
There are many different government jobs, and they are not just the DMV.
No, because they don't have regulation. They don't have the free market kicking them out, so incompetence abounds. In fact, it's encouraged. And they are all about getting more money, justifying their department, getting bigger next year. You know, my brother runs a brewery tour in my hometown. It's $80. And they have to pay a fine now to a government regulation agency that dispenses travel licenses, because going from brewery to brewery is considered travel. They have to pay 25 grand now. They can't afford it, so they're just shutting down the tours. He wasn't making that much money on them anyway, but the government ruined it. Now, that institution was founded to protect people who were going to the Congo or somewhere crazy, and it said, hey, travel agent, you need this license, and tell the government when these people go to these places so we can make sure we know if they're abducted or something. Mm-hmm. Of course, that doesn't happen anymore, or it happens incredibly rarely, maybe in Colombia. So this institution has to keep going. So now they just are attacking random brewery tours so they can have a fucking job. That's what happens when you say, government, regulate me. The free market will handle all this justice. You know, with Occupy Wall Street, you guys were running around saying, but more government, more government. You have more government, you end up with the USSR, you end up with a police state. We want less government. If you want less cops, you got to encourage more free market, more individual state power as opposed to this federal power. Obama
more
is your enemy.
Power.
Pardon?
More community power.
Yeah. Well, that's not what...
And that's not, I wouldn't say that's the same thing as free market and capitalism. But one thing that I support in reducing the number of cops is also encouraging the number of social organizations. Like, who do you call when your neighbor is assaulted? Or something is stolen? Yes. How are the ways that we can support our neighbors in our communities that is not just calling the police?
But you guys have killed the community. First of all, you
We have.
abolished, liberals, politically correct liberals, feminists have abolished the community.
How so?
Well, one, you have encouraged single mothers by monetizing it. You've created a financial incentive to be a single mom. So that destroyed the black family. Two,
There is not that much incentive.
Oh, yeah, there is.
No, there's not.
If you're dirt poor and lazy in the slums, you'd way rather have a check than go to work. So you say, sorry, get out of here, dude. You're slowing down my welfare
The numbers
check.
of people that do that are so small. They're
80% of blacks
No.
are born out of wedlock. 80% of blacks are born to single moms. That's because you guys incentivize it. But I'm not done. Atheism has also abolished the church, so we've lost this sense of community that the church has. This culture of fear. You're going to get raped. 1 in 4 people get raped. Men are going to kill you. Men are out there. There's evil guys out there. Has
Do you think
created
we're perpetuating the culture of fear?
Yes.
What about Fox News? Fox News perpetuates the culture of fear.
You've never watched Fox News. You've never watched an episode. Did you hear about this guy in the weekend who said...
I haven't watched it in a while, but
Did you hear about this guy? Bye.
Thank you. Bye.